Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Healthy Daily. Today, I have something absolutely crucial to share with you, something that could literally add years to your life. We're talking about the common traits shared by people who didn't make it past age 80. The National Health Research Institute recently released some truly shocking findings, and what they discovered will surprise you. This groundbreaking study followed 12,000 people over age 60 for an entire 20 years, tracking their health patterns and outcomes. Here's what's absolutely remarkable. They found 3 specific traits that were common among those who passed away before reaching 80. But here's the most incredible part, and this is why I'm so excited to share this with you today. All 3 of these factors are completely within our control. They're things we can change in our daily lives starting right now, today. The first shocking trait shared by people who didn't live past 80 is rapid muscle mass decline. When Seoul National University Medical School analyzed the data, they found something truly alarming. People who died before age 80 were losing an average of 2.5% of their muscle mass every single year after age 60. Compare that to people who lived past 90. They only lost about 1.2% per year. That might not sound like a huge difference, but let me tell you, it's absolutely massive when it comes to your health and longevity. Here's what most people don't realize. Muscle isn't just about being strong or looking good. Your muscles are literally immune system factories. They produce incredible substances called myokines. These are like your body's own personal medicine. Myokines fight inflammation throughout your body, help control your blood sugar levels. And here's the amazing part. They actually help your body fight cancer cells. It's like having your own internal pharmacy working 24/7 to keep you healthy. Studies from Japan's Centenarian Research are mind-blowing. They found that 80% of people who lived past 100 were still doing strength training exercises well into their 70s. Let that sink in for a moment. These weren't people with perfect genes or unlimited resources. They were regular folks who understood the power of maintaining their muscle mass. So, what can you do starting today? First, commit to 30 minutes of strength training at least 3 times a week. And before you think you need an expensive gym membership, let me stop you right there. Your living room is perfectly fine. Chair-assisted squats, wall push-ups, resistance band exercises. These simple movements can be incredibly effective. The second critical trait that emerged from this research is social isolation, and this finding might be the most surprising of all. Harvard University's famous study of adult development, which has been running for over 80 years now, found that social relationships have a bigger impact on our health and longevity than quitting smoking. Let that sink in for a moment. Having strong social connections is literally more important for your health than avoiding cigarettes. The research showed that over 70% of people who died before age 80 were experiencing significant social isolation. This isn't just about feeling lonely occasionally. We're talking about chronic, persistent isolation that affects every aspect of your health. When you're socially isolated, your body goes into a state of chronic stress. This triggers inflammation throughout your system, weakens your immune response, and increases your risk of heart disease by more than 50%. It's so serious that the United Kingdom actually appointed a minister for loneliness to address this public health crisis. Our own Department of Health and Human Services found that socially isolated seniors have a mortality rate that's 2.3 times higher than those with strong social connections. But here's something crucial I want you to understand. Living alone doesn't automatically mean you're isolated. And living with family doesn't guarantee you're connected. I know plenty of people who live by themselves but have rich, active social lives, and they're thriving well into their 90s. Conversely, I've met people surrounded by family who feel completely alone because there's no real communication or emotional connection. The quality of your relationships matters more than the quantity. So how do we build and maintain these life-giving social connections? First, join regular group activities. Whether it's a senior center, religious congregation, book club, or hobby group, having people you see consistently, at least twice a week, dramatically reduces feelings of isolation. The third and perhaps most preventable trait among those who didn't reach 80 is the neglect of chronic disease management. This is where I see the biggest opportunity for immediate change in people's lives. The research showed that over 85% of people who died before age 80 had poorly managed chronic conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or high cholesterol. What breaks my heart is hearing people say, "Well, getting sick is just part of getting older." This mindset is not just wrong, it's dangerous and potentially life-threatening. The Korean Medical Association published data showing that people who actively manage their chronic diseases live an average of 12 years longer than those who don't. 12 years. That could mean the difference between meeting your great-grandchildren and missing out on decades of precious life experiences. Let's talk about diabetes as a perfect example. When properly managed with medication, diet, and lifestyle changes, people with diabetes can live completely normal, healthy lives with virtually no complications. But when ignored or poorly managed, diabetes leads to blindness, kidney failure, nerve damage, and amputations. The disease itself isn't the problem. It's the lack of proper management that creates these devastating outcomes. So how do we properly manage chronic diseases? The first step is acceptance and accurate diagnosis. This means getting regular checkups and health screenings. And if you're diagnosed with a condition, accepting it rather than denying it. I've seen too many people waste precious years in denial while their condition worsens. Early acceptance leads to early intervention, which leads to better outcomes. The second step is understanding the vital importance of medication compliance. I hear resistance all the time. "I don't want to take pills for the rest of my life." But here's the reality. These medications aren't poison. They're life-extending tools. Taking blood pressure medication consistently reduces your stroke risk by 40%. Taking diabetes medication properly prevents those serious complications I mentioned. These aren't just pills. They're your insurance policy for a healthy future. The third step is comprehensive lifestyle modification. This means reducing sodium intake to less than 2,300 ml per day, ideally closer to 1,050 mg. We've covered a lot of ground today, and I want to make sure you don't feel overwhelmed by all this information. Instead, I want you to feel empowered and hopeful. We've discussed the 3 critical traits that people who didn't live past 80 had in common: rapid muscle mass decline, social isolation, and neglecting chronic disease management. But here's the most important thing I want you to remember from today's video. Every single one of these factors is completely within your control to change. Your age right now, whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, doesn't matter. What matters is what you do starting today. Healthy habits don't have expiration dates, and it's never too late to start taking better care of yourself. I've seen 80-year-olds build significant muscle mass, 75-year-olds develop new friendships that transform their lives, and people in their 70s successfully get their diabetes under control for the first time in decades. Your body has an amazing capacity to heal and strengthen when you give it what it needs. So here's what I want you to do right after you finish watching this video. Pick just one thing. Maybe it's doing 10 chair squats. Maybe it's calling an old friend you haven't spoken to in months. Maybe it's scheduling that doctor's appointment you've been putting off. Start with one small action today. Then tomorrow, do that same thing again, and maybe add one more small healthy choice. These small daily actions compound over time into dramatic improvements in your health and quality of life. Next week, I'm excited to share something really special with you. We're going to dive deep into the morning routines of people who've lived past 100.